Hello, welcome to episode 128 of the Datapack tutorial series, version 1.21.4, take note, point 4. We're going to be doing a phantom mount. Now, in episode 126, we were riding a cow, but at the end of the episode, I tried it with the phantom. Didn't really work, so I've now got our little phantom mount. There he is. Let's jump on. We're just using a function to jump on. Ride nearest. Off we go. Way! Okay, we can fly, so we can go up. Let's go into third person, up we go, and we can go down. Now we can fly our phantom around the place. I would advise you probably not to jump off in midair, because he's all the way up there now. It does work in survival, and we are targeting the nearest one, so I will just leap up there. He doesn't attack me because we're on the same team, and he doesn't burn in sunlight either. Okay, so this is pretty fun. I've just been flying around enjoying this. Enough of the silliness. Let's get on and build it now. Here we are in VS Code. Okay, I've added some folders and files. Inside my namespace function, I've added the folders admin and ride. Inside admin, we've got give egg and ride nearest functions. And inside ride, we've got control mob, forward macro, forward functions. And we're going to be using the load and tick function. And we've also got inside my namespace, we have the folder predicate, and inside there we have input forward, so we can check when the player is pressing the forward key. Okay, those are what we're going to be using. Let's do load first, because we need a team. Set up a team to stop the phantom attacking the rider. Okay, so we're just going to stick them on the same team. Team, add, mount. There we go. That was pretty nice and simple. Bye-bye. Next, let's give the player an egg so they can spawn their phantom. Give egg. We will give the executor a phantom spawn egg. We want entity data equals. I want it to be silent. I do not want to be flying around on one of those things that's screaming. ID. Minecraft Phantom. Okay, we'll put it on a team now as well. We'll say team mount. No AI true, otherwise it will just fly away, which isn't very useful. And let's give it a tag as well. Tags mount. Okay. Cool. Give egg. Let's close that down. Let's test that. Let's do a reload. Function, give egg. Let's select it. Data get. Yeah, that's a nice bit of spelling. Data get entity at S. Selected item. Silent team. Phantom, no AI, tags. All looks good. Okay. Should we try sticking it down? We've got the team set up, so boom. Hello. Okay, there we go. Well, we say he's silent, but he's going to do that wing slapping all the time. So let's go away, just so we don't have to listen to you flapping your wings. Okay, let's go back to VS Code. What should we do next? Ride nearest. Let's do that. Put the player onto the team mount. Team join mount. And we will make the player ride the nearest mountable phantom. Ride at S. The person who's executing the command. I'm doing it in chat, so it'll be me. Mount the nearest. Type equals Minecraft Phantom. Tag equals mount. Save. Okay, let's go and test that. Do a reload, pop him down, function, ride nearest. That seems to be working. Let's get off. I'm sorry, little phantom. You're too noisy. Okay. What should we do next? Let's do the tick function. Let's do tick. Okay. Oh, I've left the command. Don't look. Don't look. Oh, there we go. If the player is riding a tagged phantom. Okay, so let's do something as the player is riding a tagged phantom. Execute as all players on their vehicle if entity at S, which is now the vehicle, so the Phantom, type equals Minecraft Phantom, tag equals mount. On passengers, I'm going back to the player again. So we're executing as all players, then we jump to their vehicle, then we check their vehicle is a Phantom, then we jump back to the player, at the player, run function control mob. Okay, and let's stop the Phantoms from burning so we can use them during the day. If you want them to burn in the daytime, don't add this command. Execute as any entity whose type equals Minecraft Phantom, whose tag equals mount. We'll make sure we put the tag equals mount in, otherwise we'll have indestructible Phantoms. Well, they won't burn during the day. They won't be indestructible. Run data merge entity into that entity, and we'll just say fire equals false. That's going to put them out. Let's save that. Okay. Actually, let's comment that out. Press save. Let's go over here and do a reload and summon one. Ah, there we go. It's just we were too quick before. I was wondering, why weren't they catching fire before? It's just we weren't waiting long enough. There we go. He's on fire. Let's get rid of him. What a nice life you had. You appeared, you burnt, you died. Okay, let's now put that fire back in again, or turning the fire off. Let's just go to control mob and let's just say on mob. Okay. Reload. Pop him down. Now he shouldn't burn this time. Yeah, you're having a nicer life. And let's jump on him. And there we go. We got our on mob. Cool. Okay. Let's get off again. No Phantoms were harmed during the making of this tutorial. Well. Right. I suppose we might as well carry on with control mob. We're going to use a predicate in here, actually. We want to know if the player's pressing forward. So let's do the predicate first. Predicate, input forward. Off we go to misode. Here we are in the predicate generator. So if you haven't used misode before, just in case, you'll probably come to this page. If it's not in this list, popular, or it's not in recently used, which it might not be, you can go to all generators, and it's in alphabetical order, so we'll just pop down to predicate. Predicate. There we go. Okay, we want to check entity properties. Entity properties, entity will be this, and predicate. For inputs, we have to do type specific. Only the player has inputs, so let's do player there. And we can look at input, and I just want forward. Forward equals true. There we go. So when we run this, if I'm pressing the forward key, it will return true. And if I'm not, it will return false. So let's copy that, take it over, and paste it into our predicate file, and press save. Now, my version is highlighting that as wrong. Don't worry, it is right for 1.21.4. In fact, it's probably right for 1.21.2, I think, is when the input predicate was added. I'm not 100% sure. Okay, we've got our predicate. Let's go to control mob. Remove the Phantom's AI if the player is not pressing forward. Now, we're going to be changing the Phantom's motion. And if the Phantom has no AI, changing its motion will do nothing. It won't move. So when we're pressing forward, we want to turn its AI on. And when we're not pressing forward, we want to turn it off. We want to get off the thing. But we're only getting to control mob if we're mounted on the Phantom. So it's not going to fly away, but it shouldn't do. Remove the Phantom's AI if the player is not pressing forward. Okay, so execute as S. Predicate equals input forward. On vehicle. In fact, we're not pressing forward. So predicate is going to equal exclamation mark input forward. Not pressing forward. run data merge, attempt to spell, run data merge at S. At S is now the vehicle because we've got on vehicle here. We will merge in no AI equals true. Data merge entity. There we go. So remove the AI if the player is not pressing forward. If the player is not pressing forward, then jump to their vehicle, the Phantom, data merge, turn the AI off. If the player is pressing forward, we want to do something else though. We want to execute as the player, predicate equals, I don't want two equals, is pressing forward. Then we will run the function. Sometimes I think my thumbs just press the spacebar randomly for fun. Forward. There we go. That will do. Let's save that. Okay, let's go to forward. Turn on the Phantom's AI. Okay, so we are pressing forward now. Let's turn the AI on. Execute on vehicle. Run data merge entity at S. No AI equals false. So that's no AI is false, which means it does have an AI. And now we will pass some values to a macro. So I'm going to check my pitch. Am I looking up? Am I looking forward? Am I looking down? So let's do execute as S, the player, whose X rotation equals 25 to 90. Okay, let's go and have a look at what that actually means. X rotation is 25 to 90. If we pop back, and if I put F3 on, so right where my cursor is, that 4.8, right in the center of the screen, that is my X rotation. The 101.0 is my Y rotation. So as I look up, you can see it goes down. It's nice that, isn't it? It always confuses me. And as we look down, we can see it goes up. So this command is checking for an X rotation of 25 to 90. So anywhere from here all the way down to here. Okay, so that's going to be for me diving down on my Phantom, and we'll do a check here for minus 25 up to minus 90, and that'll be for going up. And we'll have another check which is between 25 and minus 25, and that'll be for going forwards. Okay, let's get rid of that. So 25 to 90, we're looking down. We will run function forward macro, and we'll pass it some information. I'll call it altitude for, I don't know, because it's going to be controlling our altitude. And we'll say minus 0.3. So we're going to be removing 0.3 from the altitude. And I'm going to set an angle as well. Angle, let's say, minus 25. Okay, then the angle we're going to use to set the pitch of the Phantom. So is it going to be looking up or is it going to be looking down? In fact, actually, let's set that really high so it's really obvious. Let's set it to 90. And the altitude is how much are we going to go up or down. So you can see on this one, if our rotation is 25 to 90, if we're looking down, we will take 0.3 off the altitude and we will set the angle of the Phantom to minus 90. Okay, I'm going to copy that. I'm going to paste in two more. And we're going to check some different angles. This one is going to be, stop it. This one is going to be from minus 90 to minus 25. So lowest number first, minus 90 is lower than minus 25. This time though, we're obviously going to be going up. So we'll take the minus sign off the altitude and we'll take the minus sign off the angle. Let's save that. And this one will be minus 25 to 25. This is going to be our going forward and our altitude. Now, I tried to set this to 0.0 and it didn't seem to work. Wasn't happy, so I found that if we just set it to 0.001, that's fine. And we'll set our angle And I think we'll do the same for the angle as well, 0.001. Okay, so we can now run our forward macro, and that's going to make us go forward. But it's also, depending on whether we're looking up, down, or forward, it's also going to change the altitude and the angle of the phantom. Okay, let's go off to the forward macro. And I'm just going to do north. And then I'm going to copy and paste in all the other directions, because there's 8 directions. So if I just do north first, and we'll do it without a macro first. Execute as S. And we're going to be checking the player's Y rotation this time. So this is my left-right looking. We'll say Y rotation equals. These are numbers that I found that work. So you can just copy these numbers rather than working them out yourself. So north is going to be 157.5 to 202.5. Let's go and have a look. 23. So right, the number right by my cursor, the 1.6, that is our X. The 113 is our Y. So let's turn that around a bit, and we can see that the number changes. Now, you'll think, well, how come it only goes up to 180 and then it starts doing minus? It still actually does add on. It does remember higher numbers, which is a bit weird, but it helps us get past this little check here. How do we check from 150 to minus 150 without including all of this? So that's why we are using 1575 to 202. We're sort of ignoring the fact that it's switching from minus 180 to plus 180. So if you ever get that problem, you want to check their rotation, you can use these values. So that's north, and we'll execute on the vehicle. And we will run data merge entity at S, the vehicle, the phantom. And we're going to merge some motion, which will have 3 values in it. And we're going to merge rotation, which will have 2 values in it. Okay, so let's say motion comes on the X, Y, and Z. And if you are looking north, you are looking negative Z. So let's do 0.0, 0.0, and let's say minus 0.1. So that's going to add motion on the negative Z. But we're not adding anything on the X or the Y. And let's do rotation. How much is it looking to the left and right? We can set that to 180 for north. And what angle is it looking at? What's its pitch? It's up and down. We'll set that to 0.0. Actually, we'll just set it to 0, F. There we go, S. Now, if I get on my Phantom now, I should be able to fly it north. So let's have a look. Let's see what result we get if we try that. So north is towards those blocks there. I suppose I'll have to get a Phantom. And there is a command to write on it. So any other direction doesn't... Oh, now I'm pressing forward, so his AI is taking over. That's why it moved. Because remember, so he's like, oh, I'm going to fly where I want. But if we fly in the direction I want, my motion is overriding his AI. So we're still flying north. We're going quite slow. Yeah, I can't go any other direction. And I can't go up or down. Because we have hard-coded these values here. So this is what it's being set to. So let's use our macro, because we are passing an altitude and an angle. So let's put those in. Altitude would be the Y level, just here. So let's say altitude. Can I spell, please? Altitude, that looks right. And its angle will be its X rotation. Angle. And because we're using macro data now, we have to put our little $sign on the front, and we'll save that. Let's go back and do a reload, do a test. So we can still move forward. Let's go F5. If I point down, Whoa, okay, because we put minus 90. He is pointing right down. If we point up a bit, well, hey, and we're going up. Okay, we can go up and down. Actually, I kind of like the... Well, it looks like I fall off a bit, doesn't it? Okay. Right, let's go back. Let's go to forward here. Let's just change that angle so it's not quite so crazy. Let's put 40 or something. There we go. So that's the phantom looking up and down. Let's save that. Okay, let's go back and just do a little reload. Still pretty crazy, but not so crazy. Okay, well, we can only go north. As soon as I face a different direction and press forward, his AI is taken over. He's going to go where he wants now. Oh, off he goes. Well, that's the way I wanted to go. Thank you, Phantom. Right. So you've got the idea of how this is working. We are checking the rotation of the player. These numbers correspond to north. And then we're setting some data. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy for all the other directions and I'll paste them in. So for northeast, we see we've changed our angle a little bit. And we are changing where we're going. For northeast, we're going to be traveling on the X and the Y. And the reason I've put a lower number is because we need to take into account he's traveling diagonally, so he's going to be having two motions applied to him at the same time. Minus 0.1 seems a bit slow, to be honest. We might change that. Let's change it to 1. So we've got some actual speed. Okay. So all of these commands here are basically identical to this, but I've changed the angle we're checking, which way am I looking, and we've changed how fast he's going on the X and Z. And we're changing which way is the phantom looking. Okay, so let's put those on screen. Can we get them all on screen? Yeah, we can get them all on screen. So you can have a look at the numbers there. You can pause this and have a look at the numbers for checking which way I'm looking. And have a look at the numbers for his rotation and the speed that we're applying to him. Okay, that's probably long enough because you can press pause. Well, let's save that. Well, let's go back. Let's do a reload. Okay, so shoo. Okay, yeah, now I'm faster. Oh, this is much more fun. Okay, there we go. We now have a phantom we can fly. Now, if you want to change the numbers, if you want to change the speed, I would say if you're going in a straight direction, so we're going straight north, we've got 1. I would say divide that by 4. So we get 0.25, times that by 3, which gives us 0.75, and use that number in the Z and the X. So if we change this to 2, 2 divided by 4 is 0.5, 0.5 times 3 is 1.5, and I would change... In fact, let's do it. Can we change this to a 1? Can we highlight all ones? Yes, we can. Okay, let's press Control, Shift, and L, and we'll change all of those at the same time. I took away that minus sign. I didn't want to do that. Let me press Z. There we go. I just want to change that 1 to a 2. And let's get all these 0.75s. Control, Shift, and L. And let's change them all to 1.5s. Save. Now we should be twice as fast. Let's do a reload. Ooh, okay, we're pretty speedy now. Now you can all get your own phantoms and you can do some phantom racing. It's too fun. It's rather... As an alternative to an elytra, I kind of enjoy this. And you've also got this weird thing. You can just pause and your phantom will just keep flying. So you can hover. Try doing that in an elytra. Yeah. Can we go straight up and straight down? No, we can't. We have to be flying. And we do have the disadvantage if we're up really high. And we press shift. Oh. We've fallen off. Okay. Not a problem since we're just jumping onto it. If I was going to make this into a proper data pack, what else do we need? I think when you get off, you really need a way that you can sort of maybe, it's kind of a bit mean, maybe punch the phantom and he turns back into an egg. Or maybe if you just get off, it turns into an egg. So even if you're flying in the sky, you press shift and you dismount, and he just goes pop and turns into an egg. That'd be one thing. So we need to be able to collect him. And we need a way to mount him properly as well, because we don't want players having to run a command. In fact, if you're on a server, they can't run a command. So maybe we want some sort of right click or punch. Again, it could be a punch. We punch him and that makes us mount him. Or maybe when he's not flying, he has an interaction entity around him, which we can right click on. All just different ideas. Anyway, I am going to get onto my Phantom. And I'm going to fly away into the sunset. Well, it's quite hard to fly when you're looking at the camera. There is no sunset. Where's the sun? It's right up there. Oh, okay. Well, we'll just leave it there then. I shall not fly away into the sunset. I'll see you soon. Take care. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.